I'm Big Lou Barbecue, and other things I want to do, and I want to do a follow-up. The other day I did a little video where I kind of messed up assembling an inexpensive grill from Sam's Club. I'm not a member of Sam's Club. I acquired the grill as a gift, so I couldn't really return it, and it was my fault anyway. So if you haven't seen that video, the link to that video will be down below. It's a pretty good little Kettle grill so far, but I haven't cooked on it yet. I got to season the cast iron grate. I got to cure the thing. It says you got to cure it, but I got to repair it first, all right? What happened was, when you get one, you put the legs on, you need to put them on real loose till you get the bottom rack in. And once you get the bottom rack in, then you tighten the legs up. It says hand tighten only. That's not a personal challenge, all right? What happened was it put the bowl out around and it was rocking, and the top lid wouldn't fit on it well, and I tried to make the lid fit on it, and I cracked the porcelain, and now I got to paint the porcelain, and I got to try to get this thing really round so that the lid fits much better. The lid is fitting, but it needs to fit much better, all right? So I'm going to show you how I make the thing round, and I'm going to show you how I paint the thing, and then after the paint's dry, we'll cure this stuff and get the cast iron grate seasoned up, all right? Big Lou Barbecue. All right, well, the lid is fitting, and it's not shaking. It's shaking right now because it's concrete's a little uneven, but it's not rocking like it was, all right? And the lid fits. It goes on there, kind of like it's supposed to. Turn around like that if you want. It kind of goes on there. But I still think I can get that bowl a little rounder. So, you may have noticed that what I've got here is some polycord, all right? You could probably use paracord too. Some kind of cord that doesn't stretch. And what I'm gonna do, I got tied to a screwdriver here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna twist and twist and twist, and I'm just gonna keep twisting until this grill, I'm convinced it's completely round, all right? And we'll just speed it up.
You can definitely feel it doing something. Just check to make sure it's all under the rim. That's where the lid's got to sit at. Just get it on the inside a little bit. That don't bother me much. It's getting hard to twist now.
And it's definitely putting some pressure on it, making it round. All right, that's about as far as I can go. It's gonna work. I know it is. So, cut it free, and we good. All right, let's see how my lid's fitting. I think it. Oh yeah, it's going on there well. The legs are even now. It doesn't rock very bad. Fits on there like it's supposed to. All right, here they are side by side. A $99 Weber with the. You can see it has the. Just the regular old-fashioned disc, and by the way, I did just hose it off, so it's dripping a little bit of water down there. I've always used that. I've never used one with the fancy ash catcher. All right, and the Sam's Club. Notice this: the Sam's Club is about 2.5 inches higher. I haven't measured it exactly, but just by guesstimation, it's about 2.5 inches higher. And as a big guy, I'm 6'4". I like that. It's taller than the Weber. All right, but you get the Weber for $99. I only paid $50 for mine. If you watch my channel, you know I bought my Weber at a charity auction a while back. The Weber is about 15 months old. Had it for 1.25 years, all right? And we just bought this the other day. All right, I'm gonna take the camera off the tripod, and I'm gonna show you how I repaired the little chips, okay? All right, in order to show you how I fixed the porcelain, I'm going tripodless here. By the way, the lid is fitting great since using that method with the thing. I got some Rust-Oleum high heat grill paint, and I painted right here, and I painted right there. All right. And that was to, and I tried to keep it from getting inside the grill. Anyway, if that paint doesn't last, I'll just repaint it. Got more in the can, all right? And I already had it on hand too from other projects. So yeah, it's chipped, but this part of the rim will get covered with smoke and creosote and that soot type stuff, and I think it's going to be fine. I don't think it's going to rust bad, especially with the paint. All right, we're back on the tripod and we're a little closer up. Now look right here. This daisy wheel, it squeaks a little when I turn it, but it works. But it says caution hot right there. That's going to be hard to turn when it's hot if I don't use tongs or gloves or something. Everybody's familiar with the little aluminum one. It looks a lot cheaper at first than this ceramic one right there. But this aluminum one, people commonly take a little cork and screw it through there, and I can move this thing when it's hot because I just touched that cork. That's a common mod. There's no way I'd be able to mod this one over here. All right. Now let me show you something else. Let's look at the Weber. Yes, the Weber's wet. You see that right there? That's the hook. It's welded on right here under the vent, and it hooks down like that. Now I got to reach way down here to grab it, but it's out of the way and it hooks like that. The store brand one has this big old honking hook right there attached to the handle, and it's huge. It sticks up like that far, like about 3 inches from the top. So if I wanted to cook something that wasn't, you know, just grilling, like steaks, and by the way, steaks and fish is why I mainly wanted this with this cast iron grate. But if I was cooking something like a pork butt or a turkey or something like that with a snake method and a big piece of meat was sitting here in the middle, that hook would not let the lid sit down on it. By the way, as you can see, the lid is sitting down fine on the grill now at this time. All right. The $99 Weber does not come with a thermometer. All right. This one does. I had to add this thermometer. This is one that I already had when I bought the Weber anyway. It was an Oklahoma Joe thermometer that was bought at Walmart. Wrong thing. My wife bought it and it was the wrong one for another project I had 7 or 8 years ago, and it was out in the shed, never been used. And so I just had to drill a hole and put it on here. Now it's kind of too long for this Weber too. So I know that hits food sometimes. So I know that hook will hit food. All right. Let's open those up and you can see how they hang on the hook. Oh, one more thing. Let's make sure you're looking at this right here. Yeah, you are. Right here. That's kind of rough cut right there. It hasn't been smoothed out. That's going to have a come to Jesus meeting with my Dremel so that gets smoothed out. So that, because if I do that, I'm asking for stitches if I don't have a glove on. So that's going to have a come to Jesus meeting with my Dremel tool. All right, got to figure out where the hook is on this. And as you can see, it hooks kind of crazy. It'll hook like that under the grill or above the grill, but I think I'm gonna bend that hook so it doesn't go in too much. All right, now, this cast iron grate is nice. It's the best thing about this grill. I really like it. But if I have to add charcoal, I'm gonna have to pick it up and move it with one of these holder things here, you know, or lift it up. We're gonna set that to the side. The Weber grate, I'm sorry, I'm walking in front of the camera. The Weber grate, had it for 1.5 years. It's dirty, it's broken right there. It's time to replace it. I'm gonna replace it with the ones with the hinges on it, but it has these little hooks, and I can hook it to the side too. All right, now, there's the Weber charcoal grate. They rust. It's all right, they last forever rusted. This is this one, and it's porcelainized. What I want to find out is if they're interchangeable. And they are not. The Weber one is too small. That one is too large. It doesn't fit all the way down under the hooks right here. I don't know if you can see that, but this one will not fit in the Weber. And this one is too small. It won't stay on the little thing. So if something happens to this charcoal grate, I probably won't be able to replace it. Finding replacement parts for a store brand grill is crazy. All right, most everybody's familiar with this Weber ash cleaning system they went to in the early 80s. I'm sorry the dogs are barking. This one got bent on me. I think I could take it off and bend it back, but if I can't, it doesn't close off all the way. It's a little high there, but I've had this for a year and a half and used it a lot. You've seen me use it a lot on the show. But if I can't fix it, I can buy a new one of these from Weber.com. I've seen it on the website. All right, getting replacement parts for a store brand would be next to impossible. So if something happens here, it wears out, I doubt seriously that I'll ever be able to get a replacement part. Maybe I can, but there was nothing to order replacement parts from in the the instruction book. All right.
Well, with the cast iron grates, this is going to need to be prepared before we use it. So I took some canola oil spray and I sprayed all around where the bolts come into the thing and anywhere that I might have chipped the porcelain to season the inside, and I did the same to inside the lid as well. All right, and then I took some of that free chimney starter they gave me, that packing material and the corrections, and I used that to light up chimney of coals, actually about 2/3 of a chimney of coals. And while that was lit, I took the cast iron grate and put it in the Weber. The grates are the only parts from the grills that are interchangeable. All right, the charcoal grate doesn't fit, the lids don't fit, nothing else would fit on the Weber except for that beautiful cast iron grate. All right, what that is olive oil, canola oil mix. I bought some of that way a while back, more than a year ago or so, thinking it was cheap olive oil, and it was really nasty to cook with. But hey, it's made a great cast iron seasoning, and I've just been using it for that. About a big old bottle of it too. So anyway, I brushed it all down with that silicone brush, and while it was cooking, after about an hour, I brushed it down with a lint-free paper towel as well. All right, to get a good seasoning on there. I seasoned all around the edges and the bottom of it too. Right, and it got up to about 400 degrees and stayed there for the first hour or so. I backed the vents off and it got it down to 325 for the next hour. And that's what the grates were looking like after about an hour, and then I brushed them down with some more olive oil. All right, let me show you how the vents work.
All right, this thing is kind of hot, but I can kind of touch it quickly, and I can kind of move it if I bump it a little bit. I'm going to turn it about half closed though. You don't want to hold your hand on there long, but at least I know I can do it barehanded if I have to. Okay, well, it's the next morning, and I'm just about headed to work. What happened was, after it was at 400, I cut the vents back halfway. It got down to 325 for most of the next hour. And then as coal started to burn out, it went below 300. I opened the vents all the way up. It went above 300 for a little while, and then, of course, began to just die out. And I just let the coals all die out and sit here overnight. Let's take a look and see what we got left. Well, the grill grate seems seasoned. It's got a little tackiness to it, but it needs to, I need to cook some meat on here and stuff. All right, but it's seems seasoned okay for the first season. It needs to go again, but I think it's going to be good. All right, I'll probably cook on it. These are the coals that are left that died out. These never burned. They're probably too far away from the fire. And as you can see, I'd opened the vents all the way up as the fire started to die out. But all the stuff in the middle burned. All right, and the ashes mainly stayed down here. There's no way like in the Weber to sweep them. I would have to get a whisk broom and sweep them down to the bottom. All right, let's see how many did actually fall inside this. Yeah, there's not too many ashes in there. I didn't expect there would be. All right. Well, no tripod. I'm just holding the camera like this. Hey, look, I like this grill. I regret messing it up in the assembly process, but I was able to repair it. The lid fits now as well as the Weber does, or just about as well as the Weber does. And it's rests steady when it's on level ground. So I'm happy. I really like the cast iron grate. Did I mention that? I like the cast iron grate. I also like the fact that it's about 2.5, almost 3 inches taller than the Weber. I like that a lot. And I think it's going to be a pretty good grill. For the same price Weber, you're going to get customer service. You're going to get replacement parts because you're not buying a store brand Chinese made grill. But you don't get a cast iron grate. You don't get a thermometer. You don't get the, features like that. the enclosed ash catcher, you would have to pay about a good bit more for a Weber with those kind of features. Cast iron grates that come with the Weber are really expensive if you buy one of those Webers. But you know, hey, it's gonna be a good grill for $100. I'm gonna enjoy using it. Thanks for watching Big Lou Barbecue. It is repairable, and if you want to get one, I don't blame anybody for doing it.